great fit. So today is another big day for me because the England over 60s walking football team are coming to Burton for a training session. So we're going to go and have a look at them and hopefully give you a little bit of insight into the world of walking football. It's all about playing to feet, moving into space without running, keeping the ball on the deck, and trying not to run. Almost overhead height. It's good football from the Blues. Broken down.
So walking football began probably, I would think, about 7 or 8 years ago. Not sure whose idea it was, but the idea in general was that people in later life, so typically over 50, would have the opportunity to get back into playing the game that they enjoyed, but without running the risks. The rules, well, as the name implies, the idea is that you walk rather than run, which is much easier to say than to actually do. The temptation to break into a jog is overwhelming and by far the most difficult thing to referee.
Well, I know that from personal experience, so
this
I
is
totally
true.
agree.
There's supposed to be minimal physical contact, although inevitably when a group of men start playing competitive sport, the testosterone starts to flow a little. But we're supposed to be trying to look after each other as much as we can. So it's largely about playing the ball to feet, moving into space, and all of the things that people are familiar with seeing when you're watching the Barcelonas, Manchester Cities or Leeds Uniteds of this country. No heading of the ball, again that's largely to prevent heads clashing and that sort of physical injury. So the ball should be below either head height or crossbar height, whichever is greater.
And how many players aside, Chris?
Players, it tends to vary, so quite often it can be 6 aside, but when we have these matches which are not competitive, then it can be up to 7 or even 8 aside sometimes. And it can be played at any level, from people who want to play purely recreationally, who may not be particularly mobile or may have some other sort of injuries which prevent them from being very competitive, through to people who want to play at the highest level they can, like yourself representing England in national competition and even international competitions which now take place. As in all walks of life, we're aiming to follow the government guidelines. I think everybody is more or less hardwired to necessarily want to do that, and to want to introduce all of the safety measures that you might expect. So taking people's temperatures, sanitising, keeping 2 metres apart.
Keep on, let him go, let's keep him tight. Go, Brian, so, let's check him deeper. Hey, get deeper. Keep on. Let's get away. So deep. Push him up. What is it, Joni?
So, Nigel Garner, I understand you've been chosen as the captain of the England over 60s side. So just tell us how that feels.
Absolutely great honour. Very privileged to have the opportunity, and I shall do my utmost to make sure I don't let the side down. Very pleased.
And you've already had the one game that we played against the Irish, the Republic of Ireland team recently. But I also understand that your team from Norwich represented England in previous setup.
That's correct. Yeah, we played in the World Cup, which was last year at Leighton Orient. We didn't do particularly well in terms of winning games, but equally we only lost one game throughout the whole tournament, and probably were a little bit unlucky. Since that point though, we have played Wales away, and Wales are the current world champions, and we beat Wales in Merthyr Tydfil 2-1 to win another trophy, which was fantastic. Bearing in mind this was club Norwich City representing country, so an absolutely fantastic achievement. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, as a Norwich City fan, then that made me feel good as well, Nigel. So well done. Anyway, have a good session. Hope you enjoy it.
Wonderful. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Good there with him, Jimmy.
Put your feet, Jim, all the time. Let's get a man tight.
This is where you can push up.
Jim, hold it in. Stay with the one you've got. Hey, we've got one spare here.
Let him get past you.
Yes, Andy. Time.
Go time, go time. Let's go.
Hey, we got two on one there.
Go, come on.
Oh, then look at it.
Jimmy took it quick.
Right, steady. Steve.
Didn't wait for the whistle.
Keep with him, Jim. Jim, to your left. Push on. Gunner.
And again, Gunner.
To us. So we didn't.
Go,
4 times. Yeah.
So now I'm here with speaking to Barry Gayton, who is the manager of the over 60s England walking football team. Barry, welcome to Burton.
Thank you.
Can I just ask you first of all to tell us a little bit about the England walking football setup and what's happening today?
Initially, there were a series of training trials where we looked at a number of different players, and I was asked to select a squad of 20 players, which and all 20 players are here today. We've had one match so far, a friendly international against the Republic of Ireland, and all of the players that attended were able to have a chance to play. What we now like to do, and we thank Burton Albion for giving us the facility here today, is have a training session with all the squad, because in October, at present, COVID willing, we are taking part in a 4-nation tournament with England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales. So the session today will all be about getting our squad prepared for those games. It's also looking to build the squad so that they are ready for a World Cup, which it is intended to take place in Barcelona in June of 2021.
Fantastic. Well, that's brilliant, Barry. I know you're desperate to get the session started, so I shall leave you to get on. Have a good one.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much to Burton Albion.
Cheers. So that's the end of a very enjoyable, very tiring first training session with England. I enjoyed it. Hard work, lots of effort and sweat. Hopefully made some sort of impression. Give the tough job to the manager, Barry, to choose a squad for the tournaments. Good luck in that, Barry. And whatever happens, we're all together. Come on, England! Come on, England!